Today I downloaded and played episode Prompto, and I will say this was a DLC that I was actually excited to play. The trailer really let a lot of people guessing who our favorite gunman was shooting at the end, and I will not be spoiling that in this review. By the way, have any of you seen the movie Tremors? No? Yes? Well, when you get to the end of this episode, you'll know why I asked. Overall, episode Prompto is pretty good. It has more challenge than episode Gladios did, and it was longer. It took me about 2 hours to get through. And I say just about because I could not beat it. But I will get to that in a moment. First, I want to talk about the story. I knew this episode would be more story heavy because Prompto is considered to be one of the more mysterious characters of our traveling boy band. We knew very little of where he came from, and what we do learn in the main game, it leaves a lot for the audience to interpret. Prompto has a dark past that he himself knows very little about, and if you were attached to him before, damn, you're gonna wish you could hold his hand as he embarks on this journey of self-discovery. My biggest complaint about the game goes back to why I have been unable to beat it as of the making of this video. The combat. Episode Gladios was much easier to get into because the combat was very similar to that of the main game, which I have adapted to. However, episode Prompto was that of a first-person shooter. I don't play FPSs, and I don't like FPSs, and the fact that Square expects an audience whom the majority are primarily RPG players to switch genres on the fly like this is very jarring. It was fine at first. I liked how I could switch my weapons and sneak behind enemies for a stealth kill and steal their weapons. But the problem starts when you're expected to stop everything, aim your gun, and shoot your enemy while 5 of them are shooting you at the same time. And don't even get me started with the melee enemies. Most of your time will be spent dodging and looking for a safe place to aim and fire your guns. And what's worse is as soon as you clear an area of enemies, more fill up the room and you have to kill all of those just to proceed further. Needless to say, I used up a lot of my healing items, and if not for Ariana showing up, I'm not even sure I would have made it through this episode. The variety of weapons you get is really fun. I enjoyed using the sniper rifle and the bazooka whenever I wasn't being shot to death. And driving around the snow in a skidoo was a lot of fun too. I know they're called snowmobiles, but here in Newfoundland, they're skidoos. The last boss of this episode is where I had the most trouble. Those of you who have already played this game will know what I'm talking about. In the last few seconds, you have to fire rapidly at the boss to kill it, and if you don't do it well enough, you die. I've gotten to that point and died 5 times until I decided to rage quit and go to YouTube to watch the ending of the episode. So yeah, I did cheat a little bit. Maybe I just suck at it, or maybe it's because I'm an RPG gamer who does not play first-person shooters. Sure, I'm a top gun on Star Fox, but the controls in episode Prompto were not as fluid, and it was a source of frustration with me. If using the guns in this game worked more like they do in Type 0, then maybe I would not be having this conversation. But here I am. Anyway, that does not mean I'm giving up. I will be giving this boss another shot once I have taken a break. But in the meantime, the combat is the only real issue I have with episode Prompto. Gamers who play mostly RPGs may have some struggles with it, but if you're a jack of all trades kind of gamer, I think this episode will be right up your alley. Oh, and a side note, I'm not playing this in easy mode. I may be bad at FPSs, but I'm not that bad. I'll beat the last boss, if I don't go crazy first. This is Chibi Neko, signing out.